All right, in this video, we're going to go ahead and create an example of the Digital Nomad opt-in funnel page. Now, we already went ahead and injected all of the funnel in here for you, and recommend that you don't skip this lesson and that you actually go in and try to build and recreate. So there is a fully functioning one here for you, so that you can go ahead and learn from. But again, we're recommending that you go ahead and try to build one yourself. So go ahead and create a new funnel. And this can just be like your demo of the Digital Nomad opt-in, right? We're just gonna call it opt-in. In this bootcamp, we're not asking you to go ahead and create all of the other pages. We're just asking you to get your hands wet and create the first one so that you can get an idea of what it's like, okay? So obviously right in here, we just follow step by step, create the page. This can just be the opt-in demo. I'm just writing that demo. One of the things that's new over here, if you've come from another funnel builder, you need to put in the /. So this will just be for the demo Digital Nomad opt-in page. Okay, Digital Nomad opt-in page. And we'll go ahead and create a funnel step. Okay, so there you go. You've got your page. We can go ahead and open up this page now. And we want to go ahead and start off real quickly. It tells you you can literally just click off a new section. One of the things that might be handy for you is to actually have the image available on another page for you to visually look at. Okay, so you can always just peek back to the members area, and right over here we have an example of the page you're going to build. Now, what you want to do is whenever you see a page anywhere that you think that you are inspired by and would like to model, you really need to look at it as rows, columns, and elements. And so what we went and did here is broke it down for you by color so that you could get an idea of what it looks like. So again, what it's going to start off with is you see the green. So there's a section and there's another section. So we can hop over here and we notice that we have one section, and we can go ahead and just go ahead and create another section, okay? So this should help you as you start to learn to be able to build your own funnels and designs. The next thing is that we did the blue, right? So there's the blue. So there's one row, 2 rows, 3 rows, right? So there's a row inside of this one at the bottom. We're going to leave this one alone for now and just work on this one. So there's 1 row and then 1 column. So let's go ahead and add that. So we'll add a row with 1 row and 1 column. There it is. And inside of that was a headline element. And again, just going back here, you can see the aspiring digital nomads get instant access to the 7-step roadmap to freedom. So, you know, aspiring nomads get, and this would be instant access seven-stepped roadmap to freedom. Okay, and there's a colon in there. We'll just go ahead and do that. There's our colon. So now we've built the first part, right? So we have that. So the next part, if you notice, that we have another row, but it has 1, 2, 3 columns. So let's go ahead and add that. Let's go and add a row, and we'll add 3 columns. So we'll add that. Now be careful not to put it into that bottom section, right? So inside of that, it looks like we've got an image. This is another image, and then this is a text element and then a form element. You can notice how there's 2 elements on that one are stacked on top of each other. So inside of here, we'll go ahead and add our image element. And inside of our image elements, we're going to need to pop over to our assets folder. And so inside of our assets folder, you can click on your digital nomad and then under images, and you'll find an assortment of images. And so simply just right click and download. I've already downloaded that there. I'm going to move back to my funnel builder. I'm going to click on my image, and I'm going to head down over here to image, and I'm going to go ahead and upload my image. You'll notice a bunch of assets in your account. Those are for use later with other funnels that we have given you as a bonus. So I want to go ahead and put that in there. So there is my image. The next thing that we wanted to add in here, this is also an image. And what we did in there was, that is just a GIF. Okay, so a GIF. And so you can simply go over here. This is a little technique, is you could do like arrow and GIF. And so as you're going over here, we'll go to images, and you'll see that there's always like a lot of little, little fun GIFs that are available for you to grab. So let's say red here, and let's just go take a look at this GIF for a minute. So see, it's like kind of moving, and you can move any, you can grab any GIF that you want. Let me go arrow right, GIF. And we'll search that one. If you've never searched around through Google Tools, these are also fun too. You can go into Tools, you can go into Color, and you could like change out the colors if you wanted to. So again, I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to go look, and so that GIF is not moving. Let's go try this one, and there it is. See how the thing is moving right there? So I'm just going to go ahead and right-click and save that image to my desktop. All right, I went ahead and saved that. It just simply saved right to my desktop. I'm going to head back over here, go to my images, and simply go over here and just drop that right in there. Okay, so now I've got a little moving GIF. That's fun. There's a little moving GIF. Now, if we go back to our picture, we have a text element and a form element. So let's head back to over here. We're going to go grab an element. And now, be careful about what I've told you before about these two being headline elements and how they're controlled over here, and another one being a paragraph element and being controlled other place, depending on the type of text that you want. I'm going to go ahead and use a headline element right in there. Okay, I'm going to use that headline element, and what I'm also going to be putting in there is our form element. So from the first lesson there, we're going to go ahead and put our form. Which form? Okay, so make sure that you go ahead and select your digital nomad form. So there's our digital nomad form. Okay, so we're making good pace here. So far, so good. Hopefully that if you're keeping up with me, it's a great time to maybe pause the video and get yourself caught up. So let's go over here and go take a look. I noticed over here that there is a gray background, right? So that is just looks like on the column, right? So the column is purple. So we'll head over here, we'll scroll over it, and we'll find that column control, right? So we're just going to find the column control, click on it, and then it kind of like holds it in place. So we head over here, and it's got like this gray color. So there's like a little bit of gray. If you want to add your own custom colors, you can go ahead in here, click the color picker chart, and you can go ahead and pick whatever color that you'd like to choose. Okay, so there it is. We'll just take that color right there. That's looking good for me. Okay. All right. So now over here, we've got like some spacing. If you notice, there's some spacing there. And so let's just go touch upon this for a little bit. Okay. So right over here, you have your form. So your form, and over here is something called padding control. So if you notice, I can kind of slide things over. And also what I can do is I can actually type in the number if I wanted to match it exactly. So see how there's some 10 padding there? I'm also noticing on this one that they're a little bit rounded of an edge, right? So a little bit rounded of an edge. So let's just go pop it in. Remember, it's this one here. And so as you start to scroll over here, I really want you to go in here and make these, changes yourself. Okay, so make these changes yourself. Here's a border, here's a full border. So we just put a full border on there. What color do we want the full border to be? Probably the same color, stuff like that. Border width, solid. You can put these little fun stuff on here. So if you want to do like dashes and stuff like that. But keep that in mind as you're doing this. And then you can go over here and you can kind of look at all this little different stuff here, like radius. So if I do like that, see how I just trimmed it? Just trimmed it a little bit. So again, the point of this example is for you to just get familiar with the builder and just knowing where to find the controls that you're looking for. If you've come from another builder, I usually tell people it's just like if you went on vacation and rented a new car. You know, it takes you a few minutes to figure out where the wipers are, where the emergency brake is, you know, the hazard, stuff like that. But other than that, they're all basically the same. It's all rows, columns, elements, and inside of each elements, they all have parameters. A neat little trick that you can do is you can just simply drag stuff over here to make it adjust with the width that you want it to. So let me go ahead and save my work. Okay, and there it is. It's asking me for that metadata. This is where you'd want to put in your digital nomad. I'm just going to make sure I put test here because I want to end up, you know, if you decide that you want to use yours, by all means, go right ahead. But the idea here is just for you to get a handle on what it feels like to actually, you know, touch the elements, move the rows, and build. Don't forget about when you do this metadata, you have the social image and all that stuff that you're going to want to end up adding. Okay, so I'm going to save my work. Let's just go back and take another look. And let's go figure out how to build this bottom here. So the bottom was, it looks like one row with 2 columns. So there we go. We'll come down here. We want to go ahead and add a row with 2 columns. And then what it also was an image element. And then this was a text element, right? So this is just your text element. So over here, this is just your, you know, digital nomad, you know, probably like all rights. You can go ahead and add in whatever you want there. Your image, let's go back over here. And your image is simply just a logo. So, you know, feel free as you start, you know, poking around here. We went ahead and put all this stuff in here for you. It's all in from the other funnels. So there is your digital nomad. Now that's awfully big, right? So that's awfully big. So you can come over here and again, change the parameters, right? So the parameters. So there's that 200. And if you notice that on ours, it's like a gray background. So let's go over there and go see that. And we're going to go change this section, right? So the section, the background. And if we wanted to go and change into like a darker gray, that's really dark. But again, the same idea is that you can change up to any color that you want. So with that being said, we're looking good there. So let's go and actually visit this text element now. If we notice that this text element here, this has like a blue to it, right? So it says instant access. Let's go over and highlight that. And let's talk about these little controls. So now you could hit bold, okay, or unbold. So it looks like all of these words are all bolded. I'm going to go ahead and bold this. And what happens is when I bold, italics, underline, all that different stuff, there is all of these controls over here. So bold text, if it's bold, I want it to be blue, right? So if I want it to be blue, notice how it didn't change because we have all these parameters. So just, again, this is why it's important for you to come over here and just practice with it, right? And just practice with it. Now you can see that it's blue. Ours was a little bit darker of a blue, but again, you can play around with the shades all you want there. But now what happened here is we noticed that this is like a little bit of a darker, but we couldn't bold all of this or else it would turn blue, correct? So what you can do now, that's where these settings come into play. Under typography, you can come over here and you can pick a different font. And one of the little things that you want to learn over here is the difference between the desktop font and the mobile font. So over here, I'm just going to make this just a little bit bigger to Freedom. That's looking more like this Freedom. There it is. That's looking more like I wanted it. There we go. Just to throw something into the mix a little bit for you, all of the fonts are all Google fonts. So for example, if you don't like this font, right, these fonts right here, all you've got to do is just head over to Google Fonts. And you can click on Google Fonts. And if you, a lot of people like to do the handwriting stuff. So literally I just sort them by taking off the check boxes, and then you can start scrolling through and looking. So, you know, let's, for example, hey, let's see Pacifico. So Pacifico, I'll come back here and maybe that's what I wanted. I'll click a Google font, click P. I'll go scroll down there and there is our Pacifico. So there's Pacifico. And there you go. And so now you just added your own new Google fonts. Remember, they're all here. They're just a little difficult to like know what they are. Like I have no idea what any of these things are, nor will anybody either. But this handy reference chart will help you. And you can literally sort through all this different stuff. It's fun. Go ahead if you want to type in, you know, like digital nomad, or, you know, simply I keep in nomad. Sorry about that. But, you know, if you literally want to go grab your sentence, you can literally just go over here and just grab your sentence and, you know, put it right in there. And so you can really get a look at like, all right, what's it going to look like? And so you can really start to visualize and, you know, maybe something jumps out at you, you know, over the others. But, you know, so it's in architect's daughter. That's interesting. And so come under here, go back to architect's daughter, AR, and there's architect's daughter. All right. And so literally now you have different fonts to choose from. Okay. So now remember, if we're changing this and then this changes, well, geesh, maybe that's not what you really wanted, right? So remember, there is a difference between this one. So you have to come under here, drag paragraph in here, and then now you'll have a different font there. So we'll come back over here. We'll click on our gear icon, and we're going to want to go over here and change our desktop font, right? So there it is, something like that. And so literally you can just go in here and change the same thing up again. So download your 100% free guide. So that's an overview on using, you know, this page. My recommendation is that you come in here and destroy things. Literally come in here, and I'd like to see you come and put different elements, you know, go and try them out, see what they do. Go and put these different things on here, daytimer, what do they do? And just go and look at it. And then always, it's always the parameters. So these parameters, you can start to look at things. So, you know, play around with the colors, play around, just put it in weird colors, stuff like this. Because ultimately what we've already done is we've already built out the page for you. Okay, we've already built out the page for you. And we're going to go ahead and just leverage that one in the next lesson, where we'll just add your form to the already built out funnel for you. So please just go ahead. This is just an example, and I'll see you.